Alright, listen up. I'm Marcus, and today we're running it all the way back. Because ancient Greece was wild, nasty, and low-key unhinged in ways nobody warned us about. Before we start, quick heads up, if you're eating right now, you might want to pause, swallow, breathe, and mentally prepare yourself because this history lesson gets real gross real fast. People love talking about philosophy, democracy, and statues with perfect abs, but nobody mentions the nasty everyday habits that somehow felt completely normal back then. So today, I'm breaking down 6 absolutely disgusting things people casually did in ancient Greece, and trust me, every single one gets worse the more you think about it. Let's kick this nightmare off with ancient Greek doctors. Because nothing says medical care like a grown man sticking his fingers where they absolutely don't belong. Imagine you've been feeling sick for weeks, headaches, chills, stomach messed up. So you finally drag yourself to the doctor, hoping for answers and maybe mercy. The doctor asks basic questions, nods like he's smart, then suddenly leans in, sticks his finger straight into your ear, and pulls out a nice chunk of earwax. Before you can even react, he puts that finger directly into his mouth and starts chewing like he just found a snack, while you sit there frozen in horror. Yeah, that wasn't some weird one-off thing. That was standard practice. Inspired by the legendary ancient Dr. Hippocrates, the same guy modern doctors still swear oaths to. Hippocrates believed the human body worked like a messy soup of fluids called the 4 humors, and if those fluids stayed balanced, you stayed healthy. Those humors were blood, yellow bile, black bile, and phlegm, and each one controlled emotions, energy, personality, and basically whether you were thriving or falling apart. The big question was, how do you know if those fluids are balanced? And Hippocrates' genius answer was simple: taste them and see what's off. Healthy bodily fluids were supposed to have specific flavors, and if something tasted weird, that meant something inside you was seriously wrong and needed fixing. So earwax tasting became a legit diagnostic tool, not even the worst one, just the easiest sample to grab without making things too awkward. Doctors were trained to recognize flavors, like a healthy person's wax versus a sick person's wax, which reportedly tasted foul, rotten, and straight up offensive. And earwax wasn't the end of the tasting menu, because ancient doctors also sampled mucus, vomit, pus, and urine like it was some cursed food festival. Urine was apparently supposed to taste like fig juice, which honestly just tells me ancient Greeks had never tasted real fig juice in their entire lives. Now let's move to something everyone deals with: bathrooms. Because ancient Greek bathroom habits were brutal and make gas station restrooms look luxurious. We're spoiled today with toilet paper choices: soft, strong, cloud-like, but back then, wiping was more about survival than comfort. People used leaves, moss, cloth scraps, or if you were lucky, a sponge on a stick, which already sounds sketchy, but that wasn't the worst option. A lot of Greeks used small stones, literal rocks, to wipe themselves after using the toilet, and yes, that's exactly as painful as you're imagining. They kept piles of stones nearby, carefully choosing the perfect size, not too big, not too small, because apparently precision mattered even during suffering. There was even a saying that 3 stones were enough, which raises terrifying questions about technique, experience, and whether anyone washed their hands afterward. If stones weren't available, broken pottery shards were used instead. Sharp edges and all, turning a basic bathroom visit into a full-contact extreme sport. Hemorrhoids were super common back then, and honestly, I don't think we need to run tests to figure out why that was happening. Now let's talk about athletes, because ancient Greek sports culture was equal parts impressive, obsessive, and straight up weird. Greek athletes weren't just famous, they were treated like heroes, just below gods. The kind of people everyone admired, respected, and copied. No matter the sport, wrestling, running, javelin throwing, athletes competed completely naked. No shorts, no underwear, just vibes and confidence. Before events, they covered their bodies in olive oil, partly for protection, partly for flexing muscles, and partly to honor the gods watching. Picture a modern basketball game, but everyone's naked, oily, sweating, and sprinting full speed, and yeah, ancient Greece looked exactly like that. During competitions, bodies got covered in dirt, sweat, saliva, and whatever else flying around, turning athletes into greasy, muddy messes. After events, athletes scraped all that gunk off their skin using metal tools, collecting a thick paste of oil, sweat, dirt, and bodily fluids. Here's where it gets nasty, because that scraped off gunk wasn't thrown away, it was saved, bottled, and sold to fans. People believed athletes' sweat had healing powers, so they rubbed it on sore joints, aching muscles, and injuries like some ancient, sweaty pain relief cream. Imagine buying a jar of someone else's sweat and dirt because you think it'll fix your knee, and realizing that was totally normal back then. Athletes were basically walking pharmacies, except instead of medicine, they sold body scrapings that smelled like a gym locker from hell. And just when you think it can't get worse, ancient Greek medicine found new ways to traumatize people, especially women. Women were treated horribly by Greek society, seen as dirty, weak, and inferior, with thinkers like Aristotle openly saying women were flawed men. Because women were considered impure, doctors believed the best treatments involved filth, especially when dealing with reproductive health problems. If a woman had unusual discharge, doctors prescribed wine mixed with roasted mule poop, which she was expected to consume or apply without complaint. For miscarriages, cow dung was sometimes inserted internally to prevent future problems, based on logic that honestly sounds completely made up. This connects to the terrifying idea of the wandering womb, where doctors believed a woman's womb could float around her body, causing illness and madness. They thought good smells attracted the womb back into place, while bad smells chased it away, leading to treatments involving perfumes and, yep, more dung. And we're just getting started because the next part somehow manages to be even more disturbing. So brace yourself for what ancient Greeks thought was skincare and justice. So yeah, ancient Greek medicine already sounded like a bad joke. But somehow they looked at all that and said, nah, we can make this even nastier. Because women weren't the only ones getting treated with animal poop. Ancient Greeks also believed dung could magically fix skin problems and eye issues. One of the most popular beauty and medical treatments involved crocodile dung, yes. Actual poop from one of the scariest animals on Earth. Crocodiles weren't native to Greece. But thanks to travel and trade with Egypt, their dung became a luxury medical ingredient. People believed crocodile dung had special healing powers, especially for scars, rashes, swelling, and infections around the eyes and face. Doctors would mix the dung with water until it turned into a thick paste, making it easier to spread and somehow more medical. Then they applied it directly around the eyes, like ancient eyeliner, except instead of makeup, it was warm, smelly reptile poop. Imagine showing up with an eye rash and being told the cure was to smear crocodile poop on your face and trust the process. Not only did it smell horrible, but if you blinked wrong, congratulations, you just rubbed animal waste directly into your eyeball. The effectiveness of this treatment is still debated, but common sense says it probably caused more infections than it ever cured. Pink eye must have been running absolutely wild, and doctors were probably shocked that their miracle dung wasn't working as planned. And somehow, after all that, ancient Greeks still found ways to make punishment just as disturbing as their medicine. They believed crime deserved pain, shame, and public embarrassment, especially when it came to sexual behavior they didn't approve of. One punishment was called raphinadosis, and no, that's not a spell. It was a very real and very painful form of humiliation. Raphinadosis involved inserting a radish into someone's anus as punishment for adultery, promiscuity, or other sexual crimes. This wasn't done in private either. It happened in public spaces so everyone could watch and laugh while the punishment happened live. The radish wasn't small or smooth either. They chose rough, large radishes specifically to cause maximum pain and suffering. In extreme cases, raphinadosis was reportedly used as a death sentence, causing internal bleeding so severe the person didn't survive. Just imagine your life ending because someone shoved a vegetable where the sun absolutely does not shine in front of a crowd. And if that somehow wasn't enough, ancient Greeks had another punishment that was just as cruel but way more painful in a different way. This one was called figging, and despite the name, it had nothing to do with figs or fruit juice or anything sweet. Figging involved peeling a piece of ginger into a plug shape and inserting it into the anus of the punished person. Ginger causes an intense burning sensation, so once inserted, the pain was immediate, overwhelming, and impossible to ignore. The burn was so bad that people often had to be physically restrained to stop them from pulling it out. After about 30 minutes, the ginger would lose potency, but don't relax yet, because they weren't done. They removed it, peeled it smaller, and shoved it right back in to restart the burning all over again. This cycle could repeat multiple times, dragging out the pain while everyone watched, judged, and learned their lesson. Public punishment wasn't about justice. It was about fear, control, and making sure nobody forgot what happened to you. So when people romanticize ancient Greece as wise, noble, and enlightened, remember they also used vegetables as torture devices. They tasted bodily fluids, wiped with rocks, bottled athlete sweat, treated illness with poop, and punished crime with produce. Sure, they gave us philosophy, democracy, and beautiful art, but they also gave us some of the wildest hygiene nightmares ever imagined. History isn't just statues and smart quotes, it's real people doing real things that sometimes make absolutely no sense. And honestly, that's what makes it fascinating, disturbing, and impossible to look away from once you really learn the truth. So next time someone says people back then were more civilized, just remember crocodile poop eyeliner was considered medicine. If this blew your mind or made your stomach turn, that's the point, because history gets way crazier the deeper you dig. This is Marcus, reminding you that the past wasn't clean, polite, or safe, but it was definitely unforgettable. Stick around, because if you think this was wild, trust me, history has way more messed up stories waiting. Like, subscribe, and share.